All right, what's going on, guys? An interesting topic for today. We've covered a few stories about this issue, and it's always crazy, maybe even a little controversial, although I kind of disagree. I don't feel like it's that controversial at all. I don't think it should even be a debate. But big news today in the world of women's sports. The World Athletics Council officially banned transgender women from competing in women's sports. So, social media obviously had a lot to say about this one. Now, first of all, the World Athletics Council is about as official as it gets when it comes to sports. This is a very big deal coming from them, right? The official wording on the ban, just so we're clear, is male to female transgender athletes who went through puberty already will not be allowed to compete in any events. So I guess that means if you were to start your transition at a very young age before puberty, then you would be allowed to compete, which, I mean, that's a whole nother discussion right there. But the reason this became such a highly publicized and debated issue is because recently, you've probably even heard of this person before, they were all over social media for a long time, but there was a trans woman by the name of Caster Semenya who basically just smoked everyone in every race, just completely dominated the field to the point where people were like, hold on, man, like, what's going on here? This is kind of crazy. The other women in the races were like kind of getting upset. Everybody watching was like, yo, what's happening, right? This is unfair. So I'm just going to provide some facts here real quick, just some evidence. And I think after looking at all of this that I'm about to show you, I think we can all agree, hopefully, that this isn't really a controversial issue, I think. So first of all, here are Caster's placements that I pulled from Wikipedia. As you can see, she basically won everything for like 10 years. Gold, gold, gold. There's that one bronze in there. I don't know what happened in that one. Maybe she like tripped in that race or something, I don't know, but gold all around, setting multiple women's world records, just destroying the competition, right? It was like crazy. Now, according to Google, she is listed at 5'10", 161 pounds. So based off of that, and as you can see clearly, that is quite a large and strong woman. It's rare to see a woman built like that. You know what I mean? Like, let's just say that. And finally, one last piece of evidence I'd like to share with you guys. I went on YouTube, actually, and I watched a couple of her races to see, what was going on. And I actually screenshotted how these races went down. And I'd like to share these screenshots with you now. So here is a couple of them. And I'd like to point out just how far ahead of everyone else she is in these races, right? Like, I circled it just in case you couldn't tell. But keep in mind, these are Olympians. These are the best of the best. These are literally the best women that these countries have to offer in these races. And this girl is just smoking them. You know what I mean? It's not even close. Half of the race can't even be included in the same fucking frame because they're so far behind. You know what I mean? So I feel like based off of all of that, I don't think this is really a controversial issue, right? Like, this is clearly an unfair advantage. And this isn't the only sport it happens in. Y'all remember there was that swimmer that went from like the 400th ranked man to the number 1 ranked woman doing the same thing, just swimming, you know what I mean? But like, there's a clear difference in men's and women's athletic events, right? It's just so clearly unfair to do this. That's why I don't feel like it's even debatable. I don't really get why it's a topic of debate. Like, the debate topic turns into like, oh, if you disagree with this, you're transphobic, you hate them, all that sort of stuff. But like, that's not really what it is at all, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I referred to her as her this whole video, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be respectful. Like, listen, you want your pronouns to be she and her? Okay, cool. I'll call you her. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. I might make a mistake here and there because sometimes it gets a little confusing, okay? Especially once it gets deeper on, you know what I mean? Like the first two genders, okay, I got those down. Okay, we added another one. They, them, okay, I got it. Cool. Makes sense. We added a couple more. Okay, I mean, all right, we got some other stuff. All right, I think I got it down. I can still keep up, but once you ask me to start keeping up with gender 149, I'm out, okay? That's too much. That is too much. Sorry if that makes me a hater or whatever, dude. My bad, but like, I'm not about to learn what 100 new genders are. I'm very sorry. Not happening. You got me fucked up. Anyways, back to the topic, right? It's not about hate or transphobia or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm happy to call you by whatever pronoun you want. You can have all the same rights as everyone else. I'm not trying to take your rights away. Nobody is trying to do that. But competing in women's sports is just clearly not fair. And it's not debatable. Just look at the results of the trans women that do compete. They fucking destroy everyone. Like, it's just not fair. Simple as that. No debate, okay? Now, what's the solution to this? Because you can't compete with the men. You can't compete with the women. Who do you compete with? Each other. I think the obvious answer is you make a third division, a trans division, and you have all of them compete against each other. That's about as fair as it's gonna get, man. And I think the discussion around that is like, they don't know if there's even enough interest, if there's even enough participants to make that division worthwhile. Honestly, I don't know. I think the only way to find out is if you make it and see how many people want to join, you know what I mean? And see if there's any interest in it, because I think one aspect of it is if the division actually existed and was an option, I think by it just being there, by being available, it would draw people in, you know what I mean? Because there probably are people that are interested in competing, but they can't compete against the men. They don't want to compete against the women and cause drama if they win everything. So they just sit out and don't compete at all. But if there was a platform for them to compete in, they'd probably give it a shot. You know what I mean? So there's probably more interest than you would think out there. But because there's no actual division, it doesn't seem like there's that much interest, if that makes sense. I don't know, just a guess on my part. Maybe no one would sign up. I don't know. But I think you have to make it and see what happens. You know what I mean? You really won't know the answer until you actually do it. And that way, I think everyone can be happy. You know what I mean? Because it's just never going to be fair having them compete against like naturally born women. Like, men and women are just built differently, man. When it comes to like physical stuff, athletics, like it is just completely different. That's just a fact. I know we live in this world where everyone has to be equal nowadays, and nobody has to get their feelings hurt if someone might be better than them, but that's not the reality. The reality is everyone is not equal. Every single person alive on this planet was born with an advantage or a disadvantage compared to someone else, and that's okay to admit that. We don't have to pretend that some people don't have advantages and disadvantages. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's just the facts, you know what I mean? So anyways, that's pretty much it for the video, man. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. I feel like it makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I might be the crazy one, you know what I mean? Because I look around, see what other people are saying in this world, and I'm like, am I like crazy? Or is like, are these people all like, is this where the world is going? Am I the crazy one? I don't know. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, rating if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already, follow me on Twitter, links in the description down below. Check out my last video if you missed it. It was I'm tired of these females lying episode. It was about this like TikTok girl who had a bad first date experience, and they made like 10 TikToks having a mental breakdown about it. Actually kind of funny. So check that one out if you missed it. Other than that, thank you again for watching. Have a good day and peace out.